dual-purpose trailer. It's a vacuum trailer and an asset transport trailer. It's kind of special, but it's very simple. This trailer is set up like a standard code vacuum trailer, hydraulic pump, primary scrubber and secondary scrubber system, and the acid lining. The only difference with this trailer is that it can also be used as a transport trailer with that acid lining. All that needs to be done is the secondary and primary scrubber hose between those two disconnected. It'll have quick connects, cam locks on there. Take that hose off, and you've got just a transport trailer. You cannot vacuum load it or pressure unload it. If you need it to be a regular code trailer, put the hose back on, and you've got a full-blown vacuum code trailer. It's got the acid lining, the acid valves, everything else operationally works just like a code trailer. You've got the emergency valves in the rear and the manual valves, and you've got the isolation valve up on top. It's got a float weight vent, so once that's disconnected, it can be gravity filled or pump filled, gravity unloaded or pump unloaded. If you need to vacuum load it, you put the hose back on and use it just like a code vacuum trailer. It's that simple. I probably would suggest if you're going to go back and forth, make sure it's washed out good before you do a vacuum. You don't want fumes or any residual acid running through the pump, although the water shouldn't get to the pump, but the fumes might. There could be some damage, but just as long as it's clean, if you go back to a vacuum, it should work just fine.
What kind of maintenance needs to be done on the trailer?
Just an inspection, just periodic inspection of that lining. All those linings are only as good as their integrity. So if it's inspected, if there's any issues, somebody sucked a rock in it or dropped a hammer in it, it's created a chip or a flaw, a holiday, then repair that. If you ignore it, that's just going to grow. But just a simple repair if that occurs. But just a visual inspection to make sure it still has its integrity.
And this valve controls the pump. Right now it's in the neutral position. It won't build vacuum nor pressure when it's in the middle. To the left's vacuum for V. You always want to go back to neutral first, let the pump go back down to 0, no vacuum or pressure. And then if you want to build pressure, go to P for pressure. When you're operating the vacuum pump, this will show, think of it as a negative and positive scale. If it comes down to here, it's -10. That'll be -10 pounds of pressure. There'll be no pressure, 10 pounds of vacuum. If it comes up to +10, 10 pounds of pressure. So when you're vacuuming, it'll be down here, pressure will be up here. And to bleed either or, open this ball valve and this will jump back to 0. This vacuum gauge is the same as that ball valve over there. Operates the same, 10, 0, 10. Vacuum and pressure. This valve here, push it in, it controls that butterfly pneumatic valve. This has to be closed as it is right now when transporting. Your standard 4-inch butterfly valve here. It's a Viton seat with the Kevlar disc, 4-inch cam lock fitting. Look at your 4-inch line, closed position, open position. Alright, this 3-inch butterfly valve here is your isolation valve. It's a closed position. It will not build vacuum nor pressure. It has to be open when loading or unloading and closed for transport. This valve here controls your isolation valve up top. Pull to open, or pull to dump, push to raise. This emergency shut off, something goes wrong, close this, it'll shut everything off. This here is your muffler to your pump. All your exhaust will come out of this. If you're vacuuming, building vacuum, you'll suck air in through here. If you're building pressure, it'll be blowing air out. If you're using this for hazardous transporting, if you're loading it, there'll be a cam lock fitting here and you'll hook up to the scrubber and run a line out to it. It'll feed your pump air. Without this, if this is blocked or anything, you'll not build vacuum or pressure. At the end of each day, you'll need to open this ball valve here to drain all the product that's in here. If this isn't drained, it'll come back into your system and ruin the pump. Okay, this trailer here is a 130 barrel self-contained hazardous vacuum trailer. The difference in this unit here is it does not need a truck to run, or at least a hydraulic pump at least. As you can see down here, the unit's self-contained. It runs off a diesel engine. So you have your fuel tank, and you have your two belts over here that engine spins, it spins your pump for you, just like your hydraulic pump would. See here, this is your engine startup, all your gauges. Turn the key here, let your gauges sweep. Also, just turn it on here. Always check your oil pressure's right, temperature, RPM. This here is your throttle. Spin it, pull it to the left, raises the throttle, to the right, decelerates it. Down here is your pump here, Freeland pump. Right now it's in the vacuum position, V for vacuum. Move the pump to the middle, neutral position. The pump will not build vacuum or pressure in that position. If you're going from vacuum to pressure, always bring it to neutral a few seconds, let everything get down to zero. You don't want to go from vacuum all the way to pressure and to try to pull all that air back out of the tank. Pressure position, P for pressure. And then on the back side of the unit is the diesel engine that's driving this pump. You still need a tractor hooked up for the air system to work. We'll show you that here in a little bit about the valves. That's about it. It's our oil reservoir here. You can see the oil level right here. It ends right here. This one's just about full. You really don't want to overfill these. Keep them at least. Don't let it ever go lower than half. Always check every day, every morning, every evening. See what your level's at. If you notice a loss of oil, it means you're leaking oil somewhere. If this goes out, it'll burn your pump up. This pump's about $6,000 right here. Okay, this is your sight glass here. As you're filling, this will raise the level. Now let's say this is your level right here. It's the level in the tank. Go all the way up. You want to stop, let it go over a little bit, but I mean you don't want to go all the way to the top as it'll overflow. And then if this ever breaks, which it does, 2-inch ball valves right here will shut access to your sight glass in case these were ever to bust, and it will happen on time to time. Shut them off, the bottom and the top. Will not let any liquid come into these sight glass. Okay, this is your diesel engine that's driving your pump. It's your air filter. You want to be cleaned every couple of weeks or so. Blow it out, especially working on the oil field. All that dust will get in there. Always check your wires here. On the other side, you want to check your oil level just like you would your car or your tractor every day. Do the part of your pre-trip and post-trip inspection. Also, the drive belts down here, look at them. They operate the same as your fan would in your truck, car. Over time, they do wear out. If they wear out, your pump will not work.